this session, we'll discuss a method called stereolithography, which is used for rapid prototyping. Now, SLA or stereolithography apparatus. This is commonly known as stereolithography also. This method is developed by 3D Systems Incorporation and it is one of the oldest known method of 3D printing. So this was the first method developed for any 3D printing application. This method involves photopolymerization of liquid which eventually becomes a solid polymer and you can build 3D models with that solid polymer. So let us first understand what is polymerization. Now polymerization is the process of curing a plastic or polymer by introducing a catalyst. What is a catalyst? Catalyst is something that does not take part in the process but it helps the process initiation. So if the catalyst is not there, the process will not happen, but with the help of catalyst, the process will happen, and at the end of the process, the catalyst will be there as it is. So catalyst does not take part in the process actively, but it will help initiation of process and it will help to make sure that process happens. So in polymerization we also need something which is called catalyst. So in every polymerization, I would rather say in most of the polymerization process, there will be a catalyst which helps the process, which helps the starting of the process. Now, how polymerization happens? So, in polymerization, different small molecules will form a long chain of single molecule. So these small molecules are known as monomers and they create a large chain of molecules which is known as polymers. Mono means single, so single molecule is monomer and poly means many. So polymer size many molecules in single chain. So if we want to visualize polymerization very simply, so this is an example. This is an example of polyethylene. Now you all know that this is ethane. Ethane's composition is CH C2H4. So this is C2H4 ethane in which every carbon atom is connected with another carbon atom with two coherent bonds. And now what we are doing, we are introducing a catalyst and we are rising temperature. Then what will happen? So one of these bond will break and they will extend to other atoms. So the other carbon atom which is inside, so from one of these they will extend to the nearby atom and they will form a long chain of molecules. So this is the simple physics of polymerization. I am sure you all have studied this process in detail previously, but I just wanted to make sure that you all remember it or you all refresh the process simply. Now this is another example of polymerization. So what is happening here is that all these monomers at the beginning. So what will happen? All these are monomers, two different monomers. Then they will start bonding with each other and they will form a long chain of polymers and this process will continue. There will be sometimes 10,000 or more monomers in single chain of polymers. Now what is this photopolymerization, which is the process behind the SLA. So what is this photopolymerization? photopolymerization simply means polymerization in which catalyst is light. So if we use photon as a light, so as a catalyst, then the process is known as photopolymerization. So we are using photon as a catalyst, that's why it is known as photopolymerization. Now what is photon? Photon is simply light. The process photopolymerization is of curing a plastic or polymer by introducing light as a catalyst. That is what I have explained you. Now in SLA, what we are using? We are using epoxy as the primary material, and epoxy is a thermoset resin, and originally we were using acrylic resin, but now due to some disadvantages of acrylic resin, basically this acrylic resin was very brittle, so we shifted from acrylic to epoxy due to the advantages of this epoxy resin's properties. Now, how SLA method works? So, to give you a very simple idea, you will have a STL file. STL is simply a layer by layer file. So here you can see this is a layer by layer file simplification in which every layer built will turn into darker color. So here the building process is there, and the layer that is being built is turned into darker color. There will be a vat. This is known as a vat. Vat is simply a big vessel which which is there to store our material, to store our raw material. This is the platform on which the part is being built. So what will happen? This is a light source, normally a UV light source, and this will be a UV curable epoxy resin. So UV light source will impart on a mirror system. This is our mirror system. This is one mirror, this is another mirror, and this mirror system will guide the light where we want to make our parts solid. So after each layer is being constructed, what will happen? Let me just wait for this to finish so I can explain from the beginning. So what will happen that after one layer is being solidified, this leveling arm, this is a leveling arm, it will make sure that the next layer has uniform resin spread over the layer, because due to this uh, uh, what we can say, due to this cohesion of epoxy resin with our build part, there will be some unevenness. So that's why this leveling arm is there. The platform will simply move your part up and down layer by layer, and this mirror system will guide the laser where you want it. So this is a simple method simplification of the SLA method, and the method itself will be very similar. So this is how SLA works, and I hope it is very clear, because this is very simple. Simply what happens is, where the light will strike, then we will have our solid parts, because we are using a photopolymer. So whenever a light will come in contact with this raw material, the polymerization process will start. Now this is an actual image of SLA part being built. This is a time lapse of the image, so it is very fast than the actual process happens, but actual process will take a very high time. So this is the complete part that you can see. is built with SLA, and this is where the light is imparting. So the light will be imparting, and at that time part will be moving downward direction. So we cannot see part here, but once the part is finished, then only we can visualize the part. Now this is the what we can say diagram of the SLA method, and if you are writing in the exam, then you have to do draw this type of diagram to explaining SLA method. Here we can discuss all the components. So there will be a computer in which SLA file is given, and this computer will control this digital micromirror devices. Also, this computer will control this translation stages. So up and down motion of this stage. This is our light source, normally UV light. From light source, we will be imparting some light on our mirror. Now, depending on where we want solidified parts, we will move this mirror in this direction also, and in other two directions also. So, depending on the tilt of the mirror, we can exactly project our laser, our light source on the vat where we want our part to solidify. So from here light will come, from digital mirror it will be reflected, and here the solidification will occur and one layer will be built. Then this translation stage will move one step down. A leveling arm will make sure that the resin on the part is evenly distributed all over the surface, and then we'll impart the light again for the another layer, and all this will be controlled by this computer. Now this is the actual setup. This is where the light source come from. So it is the UV light lamp. Then there will be some optics, the things we see like a pinhole. Let me show you. So this pinhole, collimating lens, and filters, all these things, those are these optics. Then there will be this mirror. So this digital micro mirror device is this DMD device, which will be rotated or which will be moved, adjusted to make sure that the light is imparting on exactly at a point where we want. This is the wet location. This here will be our wet. Wet is the tank in which we have stored the raw material. So here will be our wet, and this is the translation stage uh, where we can give up and down movement of this stage, and this is the focusing lens. This is this imaging lens. Uh, instead of computer, this device has a controller, so you can give your entire setup will be controlled via this controller. This is very similar to the computer. Now if we talk about the process itself, the first SLA was developed by this Charles Hull, also known as Chuck Hull, in mid 1980s. So this is the scientist or engineer that has developed this SLA method. So he was basically experimenting with UV curable materials, and he discovered that solid polymer patterns could be produced by layer production, and then he developed he along with another entrepreneur started this company called 3D System, and this 3D System is even today is one of the biggest name in SLA manufacturing. So if you want to purchase a very high quality SLA machine, stereolithography apparatus, then 3D System is one of the best option, and they are doing lots of R&D also in the SLA system itself. And they developed the first rapid prototyping machines. And then the era of 3D printing or rapid prototyping started. Now, which light source will be used? Mostly UV light is being used in SLA, but sometimes visible light can also be used. But for photopolymers, there are many options. There are gamma rays, X rays, electrobeams, and UV light and visible light is always there. So there are many options for photopolymers. So even someone can develop some special applications using gamma rays, X-rays or electrobeams also. But mostly SLA system uses UV light and visible light. Now how the photopolymerization is done, how the light is imparted on this platform. So there are mainly two approach. The one is vector scan. If you know what is how the television works, you must have idea about vector scan, or even in the CAD modeling, you must have learned about vector scan. If you do not have learned about it already, don't worry, it is very simple. So what basically vector scan does is, vector scan will go through entire screen. So if let me draw something here. So suppose this is the top view, and we want the part, the next layer, we want this type of shape, thus rectangular shape on the next layer. So what vector scan will do is, vector scan will scan this entire section. So it will start from here. So it will the laser will start scanning from here, and the computer will tell him that there is no part. So laser will not turn off, but the mirror will guide the position of the laser from top, and then it will move to next layer, then it will move to next layer, and then layer by layer. Once the mirror comes here, then he knows that okay, now I want to solidify these parts. So the light will turn on, and from here the light will turn on and it will be kept on till this point. Then it will be again turned off, but the scanning will go from uh, uh, grow from left to right entire section. Again at this point the light will turn on, then it will be turned off again, and the scanning will continue. If you have a shape like this in your part and you want that shape, then at that point the light will start from here, it will stop at this point, and then it will go on scanning, and again in the next step, and in the last step it will be till here, and the scanning will be continued. So this is how the vector scan will work. Basically vector scan needs scanning of entire area whether there is part or not, so it takes time to complete even a single layer. And you can use this photopolymerization approach also, in which we will mask our entire projection in single go. So what we are doing is we are having some mask of each layer, and it will be dynamic masking most of the time. So what will happen is uh, if we let me do it. if we want this type of circular section, then what we'll do, a mask will be prepared in which all the other areas other than this circle, all these areas that I have shaded, it will be made darker. So light can pass only through this circular area only. So a laser will impart light and here masking will be done. So what will happen? All the areas other than this circle will be darkened. So where the light will come in this circular section only. So here only there will be light because other light will be stopped at this darker area of the mask. So here will be the mask and this is where the light comes. So you will have the section you want. Once this is completed, we move on to next layer. And suppose in the next layer, you want this type of shape. So what we'll do, we'll make sure that light only comes into this area only. But this will be performed in single stage. In vector stage, we are going by point. Here, the entire layer is produced in single go. So this is the mask projection approach of SLA method. This mask projection is very much faster than vector scan itself. Now, which materials can we use in the SLA system? The SLA system was developed in mid 1980s, that is around 1985 and 1986. But first US patent that describes SLA resin was published in 1989, and then in 1990 the other resins were published, and it was prepared from acrylates. So this is the first resin that was used. But before that, this pattern came into market, people already were using acrylates, and we talked about Mr. Hull who developed the SLA process. He also used acrylates to use to build his 3D SLA apparatus, uh, and these acrylates are not very suitable materials because there are some limitations. What limitations are there? So they produce weak parts, and uh, uh, typically we can only cure 46% acrylates. So what this means is, if you have a part, then 46% of that part will only be solidified, other part will not be properly solidified. So it will obviously have very weak parts. Then this epoxy resin was used because it is much harder and stronger than acrylate. But it has a disadvantage that it is brittle. When part is coated, this epoxy resin turns brittle, and also its photo speed is very slow. What is photo speed? The time it requires to get polymerized after the light is been imparted. So if we use epoxy resin only, then it will take very high amount of time to produce the part as compared to this uh, this acrylate. So instead of using only epoxy or instead of using only acrylate, what people have started is that they have uh, started mixing this epoxy resin with some acrylate, and they have started manufacturing this hybrid available resins. So most of the commercial resins, and there are many, are a combination of epoxy and acrylic, and depending on the application you can choose depending on the strength required and depending on the speed you require, you can choose which material, which different SL material you want to use. So this will be all for this session. In the next session, we will discuss advantages, disadvantages and application of this SLA systems. And till then, happy learning.